Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead about 12 minutes. And if not, you're stuck with me this morning. So there you go. Let's see. It's been 5 years. I was told I was supposed to die by taking this, and I'm still here. What the heck? Morning, Mr. Mayor. Ugh. Morning, Waylon. We're all going to die of something. Absolutely. Absolutely. Morning, Karen. Koly, the voice of Mobridge. Morning, Dave. Good to have you this morning. Wow, my phone is almost dying here. Holy cow. I forgot to charge a whole bunch of things yesterday, so I'm hoping my iPad is getting charged up enough that I can actually go grab it here shortly. Let's see. One shot. Good morning here. Brian, good morning. Listening from the range, getting some trigger therapy. Good. Good deal. Mr. Magic Mike Wagner, good morning. Good to have you guys along. Well, what else is going on in today's world here? Besides me forgetting to charge everything. You like my shirt? Caucasians, baby. Oop, oop. One of those late night, I think I bought it this spring when I was calving, lack of sleep type of thing going on. Well, what else can we? Nothing, man. We worked 300 calves yesterday in record time. Like we had the. I can't wear this to Cleveland. Can't do that. Morning, Eric. Well, what the hell? Looking at the old calendar, I think this is the only weekend for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks that I have open. Getting into preconditioning, weaning, selling, shipping calves, and then the Bucks for Bras, that is October 23rd. And then I have University of Mary on the 24th. So I'm going to have to grab a room or something for that one. We're doing that. I got Medora Hunter's Feed on the 7th, Baker Wild Game Feed on November 8th. Oh, yeah. It's going to be busy. Busy. Yeah, it's a good weekend. It's going to be nice, like cool down. Like, we had 92 here yesterday. And I think today's high is only supposed to be like 60. So 65. Get rid of some of these wasps that are coming into the shop. Shamalama ding dong. Morning, Jesse. Yeah. Watford City on the 25th of October. Whoops. That's January. Where the hell am I? No, I am also doing things on that weekend there, Mr. Cox. So we'll see. Maybe. All right. I'll give you that. It's a maybe. The problem with going to these gun shows is I want to buy stuff. And until I sell my calves, I'm on a pretty tight budget right now. This one paycheck a year thing. Ooh, little cramp. Little leg cramp going on there. Need a potassium. All right, I'm going to go see if my iPad charged up enough here. It might not have. That might be a situation. I'll be right back. Good morning, Tim. So I've been actually using my drone a little bit more, and that's kind of fun. It's kind of fun when the new download came and it makes videos over to my phone a lot easier to get. So I've been doing a little bit more of that. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to have to power that thing off so I have enough power to keep going through the rest of the day. All right, stations, where are we at here? Countdown to 7 o'clock here shortly. Use the injectable ivermectin to pour on stuff. Yeah, I've been injectable is what I take. Stations, 8 o'clock Central Time on Mark. Let me get old Dusty a call. Morning, good Caucasian, sir. Bovine's going to be mamas. All right, Dusty, let's get you on here. Not used to dialing a 402 number.
Hey, Scott.
What's up, Dusty?
Not much. How about you?
About the same. Getting things fall work, cattle done, and what have you.
Exactly.
That's about it. I looked at my schedule besides a couple of charity benefits and stuff. It's just like helping every neighbor that helps me. So
Sure.
try to get it done.
Yeah. At least the weather's holding. We're kind of ready for a cool down, though.
Yep. Yeah, I tell you, I don't mind the heat. I really don't. But it is
Okay.
time for it to cool off a little bit.
You bet. Like I said, nice to get fall stuff wrapped up here too. Just a gazillion projects to catch up on, but life is good.
Yeah. When do you start pulling beehives?
We're going to ship them the 22nd, 23rd of October to California. We just finished honey season this last weekend, so
Okay.
just finish some life projects here before we ship them out.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Went out antelope hunting yesterday. Helped a friend get a nice antelope.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to get out and do any of that stuff. I don't know. You know what? The gratis tag, I did get my gratis tag this year, even though that's
Yeah,
a draw now. But you know,
Yep.
the one section of ground that I can hunt on as a gratis tag, I can't hunt state, I can't hunt federal, I can't hunt
Yep.
the neighbors. I don't think I have any antelope sneaking over on that little stuff. But I'm
Okay.
gonna go check. So that's the
Can't
thing,
hurt.
and people get pissed about the landowners getting gratis tags. It doesn't mean that we always get to hunt something either.
Exactly
Don't
right.
have the options that everybody else has.
Yep. Especially those things. They definitely travel a few miles. My wife, unfortunately, she did not draw her gratis tag this year. So that kind of was a bummer.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't get their gratis tag.
Really?
But I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna head down to the I got cows and I got some pastures that I'm leasing, but I didn't put that on my application.
Okay.
so I can't technically hunt that. But I got to make sure that nobody else is in there going through my cows and scaring the heck out of them either.
Sure. Yep. Do you guys have a lot of antelope down there?
I wouldn't say a lot. Once you get south of our south pastures into more of the farm country going towards Rame, there's a lot of them on the stubble fields down that way.
Okay.
But yeah, there we have an okay amount. Nothing. There's not going to be any big bucks. Nothing of any
Oh,
decent
giant.
size.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean they're all 13 to 15 inch, but there's not. You don't see those big ones anymore.
Okay.
That EHD a few years ago took a lot of those antelope out.
It did take the antelope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it killed a lot of them.
Dang.
There's a lot of that going on in some areas in North and South Dakota again this year. I hear a lot of EHD deaths.
Cause there, I haven't heard much yet. I was kind of wondering.
Yeah. Better keep an eye on the time here. All right. Tim said, I heard shotguns this morning before sunrise. There were a number of out-of-state hunters in my town of Cullum yesterday. Cullum. Yeah, I think youth. What is North Dakota's pheasant opener or not? Let me see.
It is
Ringneck pheasant Saturday, October 11th. So youth season, I'm guessing, is what you were hearing, or maybe it was something else. Talked to a guy at work yesterday. He said he was on prescription human version of ivermectin for cancer. Yeah, I can see that.
Hearing more of that.
Youth pheasant. Yeah, it was youth pheasant. Yeah, okay. So I thought I'd open up one of these darn days here.
You bet. Hopefully have some good questions again today.
Well, we're going to keep people aware of what the propaganda is.
Right.
How come they don't get excited about EHD, which kills thousands? When
it doesn't make sense, does it?
No, it doesn't. I don't understand it.
They just say, well, it's Mother Nature doing its thing. Well, isn't CW supposedly Mother Nature doing its thing?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's testing and killing deer, slaughtering deer do anything for it?
Yeah. All right. I'm going to turn you down there, Dusty. We got about 40 seconds, so stand by there. Stations, 30 seconds to showtime. 30 seconds. Starting on Mark. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors, heard all across the beautiful Dakota Territory, like stations like KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota. Thank you, guys. KOLY. Karen running the board again on a Saturday morning in Mobridge. Mike Wagner on the board at K-Fire 550, celebrating 100 years this year in radio business. KCJB in Minot, and also the Western Edge, KLTC. And 106.9. Thank you guys for tuning in here on a beautiful Saturday morning. I say that because it was 92 degrees here at the ranch yesterday, and this morning I think our daytime high is expected to get like in the mid 60s. So definitely a change. Weather fall is finally has turned, but the leaves had turned, and I tell you, yesterday the opening of North Dakota's antelope season. Today is the opening of South Dakota's antelope season, and I'll tell you this: you can sure tell by the amount of traffic that is increased in the last 24 hours. There's no doubt about that. Dusty Backer is my guest here today. Good morning, Dusty.
Hey, good morning, Scott. How's it going?
Not too bad. You said you had a successful antelope hunt with for a buddy of yours, or what happened there?
Yeah, yep, just a friend. Got him a nice heavy antelope yesterday. Of course, and
where did you go to? What part of the area were you at?
We were in Unit 9C. It's only been open for, I believe, 3 years now, since 2009. It's basically like from Mandan north to the lake, and then I believe over to Golden Valley.
Okay. And are you seeing good numbers of antelope that way?
Actually, there's some good numbers in this unit.
Good.
Yep. Those last 2 winters have really helped too.
Yeah. We'll see what this winter brings, because I don't know what the old wives' tales are, but the bullberry bushes in our past years have never had this many berries on them I've ever seen. I mean, they're just like the branches are breaking down to the ground. They're so heavy. And everybody says, "Oh,
Wow.
that's a sign of a tough winter ahead of you." So I don't know. What's your farmer's almanac say?
I never know until it's over, is what I
So when we used to I archery hunt and everything early season, I archery hunt later all the time. When you skinned out that antelope, what did the fat look like in it? Was it
There
was it
really wasn't much. There really wasn't much fat on that
none?
antelope.
Okay,
No, but they've been running really hard the last month.
yeah.
Really hard.
Well, let's see what
So it's hard to say.
maybe this is my weekend. I got my gratis tag, but I don't. The problem is it can only hunt certain parts, and I don't have much for antelope. Like they do a lot of have their kids on my area, but it seems like they move further south during the later part of the year. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, all right.
Okay, you bet.
What are we going to be talking about today? Here we have Tim says North Dakota resident waterfowl season opened up on September 27. Non-resident season open today. It seems a little early to being duck hunting, but people are hearing gunshots and everything. We got youth pheasant going on. We have antelopes open in both states now, and yeah. So where can we
It's an
go from
exciting time
here?
of year.
It's hunting season, you know. And
It's an exciting time of year.
we got to talk first up before I forget because I get all into the CWD that we're going to be talking about here. We have to talk about backer honey. You sent me a jar of honey, and that stuff is absolutely outstanding, man. Thank you.
Hey, you bet.
So, in the outdoors program, let's talk a little bit about the honey side of things here. I asked you before we went on the air. Are you done in the Dakota Territory with collecting honey now? What's the stage now?
So the stage now is we just finished our extracting season here this last week. Everything's basically in either a jar or a 55-gallon drum. So now we'll go back to the bees one more time and throw a treatment on before they head to California, October 22nd and 23rd. We'll ship them out to California where they just sit there all winter. You don't even really need to tend to them.
Really?
They just sit there all winter and fly out and go to the bathroom. Yep, just basically to get them out of the cold or the snow. They can handle some cold weather. You just when they get buried in snow a lot, it's just the outside cluster starts to fall off. That's why you got to get them out here before the winter. So yep.
So you don't do any honey collection in California?
We do not do any honey collection. No. Some people do, the big crops out there is either the orange trees, which comes like sometime in April, or they have a big sage crop. If you get up into the mountains, into the hills, you can have a good sage crop. And moisture is always an issue in California. I mean, it seems like only once every 15 years they hit a honey crop. So, yeah, we're just out there for the almond pollination.
Okay. So I believe, is it North or South Dakota? I know South Dakota's got a lot of honey operations too. Especially, I believe is one big one. I can't remember. I think it's on Highway 12. Addy Honey, I believe it is one down in South Dakota. Isn't North and South Dakota like the top producers of honey in the country?
Yes, year in and year out. Usually North Dakota.
It is North Dakota. Okay.
It's usually the top, only because in South Dakota they have a 3-mile limit law, so you can't have bees within 3 miles of somebody else. So 3 miles is quite a ways. North Dakota doesn't have that, so obviously the majority of the people, like from California and other states, come to North Dakota because there is no law. Usually in South Dakota, it's pretty hard unless you would buy somebody out, with all the locations. It's hard to find locations down there.
So what's the job called? Like, what do you call your business? You're not a beekeeper. What is the official terminology?
Apiary.
Apiary. How many apiarists are out in North and South Dakota? How many actually are there? Is there a lot of people that do this?
Well, in North Dakota, I believe there's around 300 or 350 that are registered. Wow. Now, some of those are smaller operations too, or like hobbyists that have a few hives in the backyard. But yeah, there's over 300 registered just in North Dakota.
Wow. So it's well known that people come up here for the. I guess we got a lot of clover. Is that the best tasting honey? Is on clover fields, or what is it?
Yeah, it's clover alfalfa is still your best tasting honey. Really white. A lot of people I know go to the northeast part of North Dakota for the canola. Canola can make some pretty good honey. So I mean, you got sunflowers. Just in this part of the country here, where we are, in just the native prairie, all the wildflowers, and we give that a lot of credit with the sweet clover and alfalfa. Just it raises really good bees, and they make the winter really well because it's all natural pollen, not a lot of spray, and just a lot of good tasting honey.
Yeah. The mayor says, can a vegan eat honey?
I've never had that question before.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. An insect makes it, so I don't know. I'll leave it up to them.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that answer either. I know they don't like milk. I know that. So, but no, it's great. Yeah, it's great tasting stuff. And when it comes into the fall season, I do a lot of charity auctions and back-to-back auctions, like back and forth and back and forth. And the honey is part of my. Boil some water. You put some honey in there. Oh man, I'm telling you right there, and maybe a little bit of bourbon. That doesn't hurt.
There you go. All
right, but if you want a good cough syrup medicine, stick with natural honey, man. It's awesome to do that. So, yeah,
and throw a little cinnamon in there too with that.
Really?
Honey and water. It's incredible with cinnamon. Yep.
I have to do that too. Now you got me. It's this first cooler day. Falls around the corner. We got hunting season around. A lot of people are still chasing elk around the Badlands out here. Had somebody come through the yard last night, and it was cool, man. It was a grandpa, his son, and his two grandkids, and one of his grandkids drew the tag. So they're doing this as a family thing, and it's just unique seeing that, because I grew up as a young kid. It was always a family thing when you went out and did the hunting side of things, and it's kind of cool to see that too. And the old grandpa, guess what he had? Guess what he brought in to the shop?
Some honey?
Nope. Red eye.
Red eye.
Do you know what that is?
I don't.
You don't? Oh, man. Okay. Well, after the break, after we have a little commercial break here, we're going to have to explain to you what red eye is. And it's what I call it, the cheap way back in the old days of a wedding, and how to get everybody on the dance floor is what I call it. So stick with me here, Dusty. We'll be back in a little bit. And if you want to chime in, you sure can. I'm live chatting on my YouTube channel, and you can also text me as well. Back after these messages.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for these incredible Piper's exclusive land auctions. On October 16th, Piper's will offer 633 acres of grazing land in Fallon County, offered in a single parcel that features incredible native grasses, good perimeter fence, and natural stock dams, pipeline water, and Cabin Creek. Piper's will also offer over 2,500 acres of grassland, hayland, and hunting land in Bowman and Slope counties on December 10th. Located near Marmarth on the edge of the Badlands with excellent grazing and incredible wildlife habitat along Little Beaver Creek. All auction details and online bidding can be found at pipers.com.
I'm Dale Falke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where local banking is as comfortable as your favorite pair of work boots. Step into our branches and experience a friendly atmosphere, personalized service, and financial expertise. Whether you're a hardworking farmer, a small business owner, or a local resident, we've got the banking solutions that you need. So kick off your boots and let us take care of your financial needs at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's your tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran owned and operated.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been a leader in ag financing because we understand the business of creating relationships is more than an interest rate. Agriculture is a foundation to the community, and we are here to help your operation expand, grow, and continue to the next generation. Talk to our ag lending team today.
Community looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for these incredible Piper's exclusive land auctions. On October 16th, Piper's will offer 633 acres of grazing land in Fallon County. Offered in a single parcel that features incredible native grasses, good perimeter fence, and natural stock dams, pipeline water, and Cabin Creek. Piper's will also offer over 2,500 acres of grassland, hayland, and hunting land in Bowman and Slope counties on December 10th. Located near Marmarth on the edge of the Badlands with excellent grazing and incredible wildlife habitat along Little Beaver Creek. All auction details and online bidding can be found at pipers.com.
Don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors on a Saturday edition. Good to have you along. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. Just a light breeze out here at the ranch. And it's hunting time, man. Antelope season opened up here yesterday in my area, today in South Dakota. Youth pheasant season. We got duck season going on around the area. And, of course, elk and archery are still going on as well. So a lot of hunting seasons going on. It's just going to get busier and busier. Dusty Backer from Backer Honey is my guest here today. Now, we finished by saying, what is red eye, right? And you said you've never heard of it.
Correct.
All right. So here, there's a few different ways of doing it. And the original way that I was taught was you melt sugar down until it gets nice and runny. And then you put it in. We always did 5 bottles of water into a bucket. Seriously, a cake bucket is the first time I learned watching them do this. And then they put like a fifth of Everclear and then any type of flavoring that they wanted to put in that. You mix it all up, you put it in a whole bunch of bottles, and you serve it at weddings because it was a cheap way to have like a quote unquote open bar for a good German wedding. Now, a buddy of mine and we went through and we got recipes from all these older generations, and we used to do a lot of red eye making. And then I get a text from my buddy. The last wedding dance I ever DJ'd, I stole a bottle of his, and that's 23-year-old. I think it should be pretty smoothed out right now. So we might have to break that one up. Yeah, Josh is responding. He says apple pie red eye is really good. Yeah, homemade moonshine social drink is what it was originally called. Yeah. So anyway, let's get talking about chronic waste disease. What is going on in the upper Midwest? Is it still, I haven't heard much of it. I haven't seen much on social media, mostly because I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of it anyway. But are they still pushing, are biologists still pushing that CWD is as bad as they're trying to make it? Or are they going to start focusing on EHD, which is now taking some more big whitetail deer in certain parts of the area here?
They really are ramping up the CWD across the nation the last couple months and through the summer here. Missouri is just one of the worst states at the moment. But as far as North Dakota goes,
what's happening in Missouri? Tell us that.
It just their heads, the director, Jason Sumner and Jason Isabel, they're doing podcasts. I mean, they slaughtered, I don't remember how many hundreds of deer, and 99% of them didn't even test for CWD, which we've talked many times. Scott, these tests aren't even picking up a prion because it's never been proven to exist. But 99% of the deer that they slaughtered back in February didn't even test positive. Just like every other situation, they slaughter all these deer and hardly any of them test positive. But the farms they did it on, now the neighbors, I mean, they have no deer. They probably shot some big deer because they didn't have antlers. Missouri is just out of control with the CWD narrative.
So explain to me why shooting deer helps, or in their minds, why is shooting deer, killing a massive amount? What's their theory behind doing that? Just for testing purposes?
Exactly. Yes. Because if they get a detection in this unit, then they go slaughter a bunch of deer because to lower the numbers, so it slows the spread. I mean, it's just absolutely insanity, and it's really becoming quite criminal now, 60 years later, and they can't even prove to us that the prion even exists because it's still a hypothesis. But a lot of these agencies, individuals, including North Dakota, they're tied to this AFWA document we've talked about many times. 30 individuals wrote this document, and it's not science-based at all with 162 words, such as we believe possibly could be. But one of the 30 writers of this document that all agencies, this is the push behind CWD, wrote a paper, and it's literally the prion hypothesis, examination of the evidence. They have no proof it even exists. This test is picking up something else, like we've talked about, a bacteria or virus or fungus or yeast. And when it comes back positive, the healthy deer typically, Missouri is out of control. But thankfully, North Dakota, what we've all done, the people stepping up, we haven't heard a word about CWD in North Dakota this summer, like you were talking. Not a word.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's just, I think, what did they say that there was? Has there been any proof of any deer actually dying of CWD? For sure.
We actually thought that there was one. So here's some new news for the people. We've done several open records requests through the Game of Fish.
Okay.
And one was, we wanted to know, because we've been saying that our Game of Fish has spent over like $1.5 million, which is pretty minimal, I think. I think Missouri spends like $3 to $6 million a year on it. And our Game of Fish, North Dakota, spent like 1.5 over the last like 15 years. Okay. And they just applied for another $200,000 grant, federal grant. And I did have the paperwork right in front of me on it. There's 18 states that apply for this money, $200,000. But what's weird, Scott, is majority of them are 200,000, 199,000, 200,000. There's 18 states. And our North Dakota Game of Fish, it's for North Dakota Game of Fish Wild Service CWD Management Surveillance. What's weird is majority of the money, the funding's the same, and the project title's the same on all these states. Because usually they specify, like last time, the 96,300 North Dakota Game of Fish got was for propaganda. It was a multimedia approach. Even in legislation, everything they put up there was like NDSU advertisements during the football game. I mean, it literally was all propaganda. Okay. So back to the open records request. We wanted every clinical deer in North Dakota, and there's been 7. But there was only one that was autopsied, necropsy, and sent to a pathologist that we thought died of CWD. So we've been saying there's like, I think Daryl Lisa actually started. We have $1 million deer, one deer that's died of CWD. So we called the pathologist, and she's like, well, I didn't say that deer died of CWD. That deer could have died from anything. I'm like, well, okay, well, what about prions? She's like, oh, you don't see prions. You only see evidence of prions. Like, she would not stand behind that this deer dying of CWD whatsoever. So actually it's 0. We thought there was one in the nation in North Dakota, but we talked to the pathologist in person, and she's never seen a prion, so they're too small to see, and said, I didn't say this deer died of CWD. All I look at is the tissue. Well, this is what we've been saying. To confirm a neurodegenerative disease, you have to see the myelin degrading under the microscope. So it doesn't matter if it has holes in the brain, what they say CWD or CJD is, which in humans, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, again, which is not contagious. So CWD is not contagious either. or just the myelin degrading, could be a dementia, could be a Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. It's all just the myelin. You have to look at the tissue, and that's what she did, but she still would not say that deer died of CWD.
You said that CWD is not contagious. I mean, all the information that you see online or you hear of, it's if they're, because of baiting and everything, that they're touching noses or anything. And I talked to a gentleman outside of Florida that studied CWD. He says that they would have to drink like gallons and gallons of urine in order to transfer this. So is that blown out of the water now? They can't spread it? I thought they could.
Absolutely not spread. It's not a contagious disease. They're saying CWD is one of the only neurodegenerative diseases that's contagious. Or your CJD, they say, is a spongiform 2 holes in the brain in the humans. It's not contagious through bodily fluids. And keep in mind, they don't test the urine and feces. I asked the Game and Fish that. It's so contagious, but you don't test the urine and feces? Why do we got to have a dead deer and test a lymph node? And lymph nodes just detox the body of toxins. So what are these tests picking up? So we've even called testing manufacturers. Oh, they don't test for prions. I mean, they could pick up anything with those tests. So let's just say all these studies they're doing, Scott, they inoculate him with urine, saliva, feces. Like I've even went to the Game and Fish and asked them for a proof of contagious. And the study, well, they didn't even give me one, number one. So I went through our Board of Animal Health, and they gave me they actually went to the Game and Fish. Hey, you need to show me that this is contagious. And what they were sent from the Game and Fish was a study where they put deer to sleep in light anesthesia every week, Scott, for like 90 days, and put saliva in its mouth so it could wake up and slowly swallow whatever they put in its mouth. And then 90 days later, it tested positive for CWD. Throw somebody else's saliva in my mouth and put me asleep. The stress that deer was under, I'm going to come down with something too in 90 days. That is absolutely disgusting.
That's interesting. So we're up against our half-hour break here, so keep on that. If folks, if you want to call in, ask questions or text, I got a few text messages that we'll get to. My number is 701-425-6651. That's 425-6651. I'm live chatting on my YouTube channel, or you can call 800 or 888. It's toll free, 888-932-5682. That's 888-9-DAKOTA. We'll get you on here if you have any questions, comments, and we're going to keep talking right after these messages.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for these incredible Piper's exclusive land auctions. On October 16th, Piper's will offer 633 acres of grazing land in Fallon County, offered in a single parcel that features incredible native grasses, good perimeter fence, and natural stock dams, pipeline water, and Cabin Creek. Piper's will also offer over 2,500 acres of grassland, hayland, and hunting land in Bowman and Slope counties on December 10th. Located near Marmarth on the edge of the Badlands with excellent grazing and incredible wildlife habitat along Little Beaver Creek. All auction details and online bidding can be found at pipers.com.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where local banking is as comfortable as your favorite pair of work boots. Step into our branches and experience a friendly atmosphere, personalized service, and financial expertise. Whether you're a hardworking farmer, a small business owner, or a local resident, we've got the banking solutions that you need. So kick off your boots and let us take care of your financial needs at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran owned and operated.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been a leader in ag financing because we understand the business of creating relationships is more than an interest rate. Agriculture is a foundation to the community, and we are here to help your operation expand, grow, and continue to the next generation. Talk to our ag lending team today.
Community looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for these incredible Piper's exclusive land auctions. On October 16th, Piper's will offer 633 acres of grazing land in Fallon County. Offered in a single parcel, it features incredible native grasses, good perimeter fence, and natural stock dams, pipeline water, and Cabin Creek. Piper's will also offer over 2,500 acres of grassland, hayland, and hunting land in Bowman and Slope counties on December 10th. Located near Marmouth on the edge of the Badlands with excellent grazing and incredible wildlife habitat along Little Beaver Creek. All auction details and online bidding can be found at pipers.com.
Don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors on a Saturday. Beautiful Saturday here at the ranch. Can't wait to get out here. Maybe try to do a little bit of antelope hunting and see if there's anything sneaking over in a little honey hole or not. And good luck to those that got tags here. It seems Dusty Becker's my guest here. Dusty, it sure seems like, one of the, elk is a very, very difficult tag to get in the Dakotas. Now, the next one seems like pronghorn antelope is a very, very sought after tag as well. It's like it's going to be up there with the moose tags and the bighorn sheep tags eventually.
It seems like it. I think I've been putting in for, I don't even remember, 11 years, I think now. I think next year's 12.
Yeah, a lot of points here. Well, let's continue. So we finished up talking about CWD and all of these tests that you're kind of going out and trying to get more information on how they do the testing. Where is this testing actually being held? If somebody says they're doing CWD testing and they're taking it to whatever, is it here in state? Is it at the Animal Health, or where's it going on?
No, there's only, I believe, there's 31 to 32 facilities, either state or federal,
okay,
that these tests are sent to. So, like, if somebody turns in a lymph node and a sample kit, and it's actually we mailed to the game official, they end up sending it off. And I believe some of North Dakota's goes to Utah. But yeah, we've even contacted the main headquarters in Iowa, and they wouldn't tell us any information on what these tests are picking up or share anything. Like, no, you got to go through your agency. So all these tests and all the results, so basically they're under all lock and key as well. Yep. And we've reached out to so many other states, Scott, like Texas, Missouri, the big pushes of some of these. And there's people in these states too that are doing open records requests. Missouri got the same ridiculous research paper that we did when it comes to prion, a 2021 research paper that it's literally labeled as fibrils at 81,000 magnification, when Dr. Wallach used an electron microscope of 126,000 magnification and could see the double helix DNA molecule and never saw a prion. Missouri got the same one. Texas, our friends in Texas filed an open records request, and their Texas Parks and Wildlife wouldn't even give them any prion. Went to Texas A&M. They don't have anything. They sent them actually to the place in Iowa. They don't have anything. When it comes to prions or contagious, they can't prove anything. But everything's under lock and key.
So before I get to some of these text messages, I got to ask you, what made you want to, what fuels your fire to learn more about this? I mean, you're passionate about it. You're going through all this work, getting, through the open records and contacting every other state. What's driving you to do this?
Well, back up to 2021, our whitetails. So we've been living in North Dakota since 2009, and our whitetails were amazing in 2021. Like, I've never seen so many big deer. We were a year or two away from just, I'm talking 180 pluses. And then EHD hit and killed almost all of our deer in a humongous area, right?
Yeah.
Well, then that was in 21, 122. Here come all these CWD meetings across the state of North Dakota. I'm like, what? Our deer got wiped out at CWD or EHD, and now you want to talk about CWD? That's what really fueled our fire. And then when we start just digging into this and realizing how big of a lie and the propaganda and the scam, Scott, you just can't quit. And there's so many topics around the world right now that we're being lied to about. But CWD is just another topic. But that's just our passion. That's why we kept going on with it. And we've been helping a guy in Texas, a deer breeder, a deer farmer in Texas. And we actually really helped save his deer. We testified last November in front of the Texas Animal Health Commission. It's the same as like our Animal Health Commission, our Board of Animal Health. And for a 5 to 10 minute presentation, his attorney gave us 5 of her minutes because she saw that she wasn't making any progress. We testified with what we've been talking about on this show. Texas Animal Health Commission last month gave all their CWD stuff to Texas Parks and Wildlife. They want nothing more to do with CWD, and basically it opened up our friend's ranch, and he's been locked down for 2.5 years because of one deer.
Yeah.
And didn't even have it. So we're making progress.
Didn't even have CWD. So a text comes in and says there's more deer killed on the highways than will ever die from CWD, but technically there's nothing that has been proven to die from CWD.
Nothing. Nope.
Oh, interesting.
Everything's based on this test. It's like North Dakota's been 122 deer supposedly out of 50,000 tested, like 0.02% or whatever, and they think 122's been, no, there's been one that actually had myelin deterioration, but that deer could have died from anything. It could have had pneumonia, been sick, and killing the brain cells, the myelin brain cells.
So does anybody know that? So let's talk about that one deer. Did somebody turn in? Was it hit on the highway and somebody grabbed it? Was it shot and somebody put the head collection site? How did they get that deer?
Actually, it was a landowner turned it in, and it was in February of 2023. Turned it into the game.
So he found it out there laying dead.
I don't know if it was dead or just, all I know is the landowner in February of 23 turned it into the Game and Fish. And then the Game and Fish, it must have been fairly fresh or something for them, in order to them to send off the brain tissue to have it examined. It had to be fairly fresh.
Okay. So this is my question, is if the landowner saw this deer sitting there acting goofy or whatever it was doing, and he calls the authorities in and they come out and shoot it, it technically did not die from CWD.
Right.
I mean,
right?
Honestly, you can't say it died from that, and Brian wants to know he said, does anybody know the age of that deer?
We do not.
Okay.
I do not, I guess. Maybe Game and Fish does.
Yeah.
But.
So that's what I'm saying is, everybody says, oh, they died of CWD, but it was still standing when you seen it.
Right. And you know what? If it's spinning circles, Scott, seriously, that deer could have a zinc deficiency and he could be emaciating all over himself and spinning circles.
Yeah.
There are so many reasons why that deer could be spinning circles, or why that deer, like I said, pneumonia, and it's killing the myelin cells in the brain or spinal cord, or that's why this whole CWD narrative on this test is just, it's criminal is what it is now. 60 years later, they have nothing. It's not even insanity anymore. It's criminal.
Yeah.
They need to be held accountable.
Well, it's good information goes a long ways. And if people have any questions about CWD, how do they get information from you? What's the easiest way? Do you guys have a website or a Facebook page that explains a little bit about this? You can do some research.
Absolutely. Our Facebook page would be the best, and if people can call or text me too, 402-360-1038. It's a Nebraska phone number, but we've been here for 15 years. Call or text me anytime. Our Facebook page is the best way to get information, and you can feel free to message us. We respond to every message through Messenger. It's chronic wasting dis-ease, DIS space EASE.
And Jesse says, what do we do to expand the knowledge and prevent EHD? Because we're losing way more deer to that.
Thousands.
Right? So how come that's not being studied more than CWD?
Because there's no federal funds attached. It has to be, Scott, because the federal funds of CWD just keep going and our game of fish just keep applying for it. Well, if we had EHD funds, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, they would be studying it. Mm-hmm. Because to me, our mule deer survive EHD. We had it so bad, but I had a 7-year-old mule deer buck. He survived the next year and grew his best rack ever after EHD. So what do the mule deer have that the whitetail don't? There's obviously something the mule deer have that can survive EHD. So they should be studying that.
So I have a little something to say about that, because I witnessed a lot of mule deer. So when that EHD came through, the entire river bottoms were just loaded with dead whitetail. And, all the fence that I fixed around there, I mean, I was stepping over every 10, 20 feet. I was stepping over another dead deer, right? EHD, it is what it is. And they say mule deer can't get it. But the mule deer in this country looked absolutely terrible after that year. And I had a few people that I trust their judgment a lot, because they process a lot of deer. And they said that EHD probably doesn't kill them, but it really did affect their health. And then if you have a bad winter, yeah, it probably affected enough to go that route. I still think it affects them a little bit. I really do.
Yeah, it definitely does some, but like I said, not to the point of death, but maybe it, they say like 1% it could kill, because it does grow scar tissue on their testicles. Cause I did see a few velvet muleys in November that year too. One of my big bucks, he started limping after that. One of my big muley, and he had a really, really messed up toe. And I think when they run fevers, I think it can affect their feet.
Yeah.
So it does affect them a little bit.
I think it does affect. So the one says, wait till they get going on the bird flu up here, and then we'll really see them close down a lot of hunting. And another text says, the CWD is the COVID of the Fish and Wildlife Service. If you throw enough money at testing, you will get results to say anything you want.
Bingo.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it, I guess, here. So, all right. Yep. I have a story off of CWD, but I can bring it back to that maybe. So the other night I was trying to scout for some elk for a buddy of mine. I got a neighbor that has a tag, and I got 2 neighbors that still haven't gotten their tags filled. So I was out trying to scout a little bit for them, and I saw 2 small bulls and a cow and a calf. And they were all just still looking down in this really deep area that we have. And lo and behold, as the night went on, the big boy came out, right? He was a good elk, and he got in a fight with these other 2 smaller ones. And I've never seen in person a fight like this. And that was about 3/4 mile away. And they were just busting through cedar trees and through the pine trees and over the top of cut banks. And they all went down, and they fought all the way down to the bottom, and I couldn't see them. And finally the 2 smaller bulls, they took off. They're like, the heck with this, right? And that big bull came out, and he broke his left side off, like right above the brow tine type, and just snapped it right off. Right. So he was walking rather strange. Right. I mean, it's almost like he had a concussion going on. He was just wandering around in circles, and then he would be walking up, and then he'd stumble backwards, and then he'd walk over. If somebody were to see that and they didn't see the fight, they could possibly look and say, there's something wrong with that elk.
Right.
I mean, honestly, right? I mean, they could look at that and say, oh, maybe he, don't realize he just got into a heck of a fight and he won, but he's not feeling too good at this point. So I'm telling you, what a awesome thing to watch that happen. And it was crazy loud too. So
not many people have seen that, and I'm sure he was a little lopsided after dropping one side.
It was too bad, because everybody, I called and I said, well, I have an elk. I said, you could possibly find the broken part. I said, I don't know how you're going to need some rappelling ropes to get down in there and to find it, but nobody wanted to take a broken deer or an elk. All right, let's get to some more comments here. It says, does it have anything to do with the BSE in cows, scrapies in sheep, or I forget what it's called in humans, but there was a neurologist disease in New Guinea back in the 60s. Is it all related to the same stuff?
That's what they claim. It's just like scrapie and BSE, and then CJD is the spongiform in humans, but it's all just the myelin degrading is what it is, and none of those are contagious. None.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just going through my text, making sure I get
Yep.
everything for you.
You bet.
Because I want to make sure I give everybody time to, and even if you have any arguments against what we're talking about, you can call in or text me, and we'll go through that as well. We'll have civil conversation. And but yeah, so it's amazing. Got to get the information out. And like you said, I haven't seen much, but a lot of states. I think it was Minnesota a few years back. Maybe it's quite a while back. I remember they killed a lot of deer out there too. And
yeah,
I don't know what happened out there that way. I know nobody ever talks about what they find.
Exactly. Yep. Slaughter and move on to the next. And that's what's sad about these federal grants. Which you go to the Farm Service federal grants, 2 of them, Kentucky and New York, literally are getting funds to depopulate somebody's livelihood. It's criminal.
Yeah, and why can't we do that as just people that want to eat the meat?
Right.
What, why? Honestly, I mean, I understand they got to say, well, we got to have officials, maybe federal officials got to be, when they had the big population of cow elk in the park, they wanted to bring out federal sharpshooters. Well, fortunately, we were able to do it by actually, residents being able to go out there and take that elk and had to donate portion of the meat or however that worked. But I don't, they got to remember, I think a sharpshooter coming out of New York City, I'd rather take the old rancher with the open sight 30-30. Sometimes it'd be a lot probably better and more accurate shooting going on too. Sometimes that way, but yeah. What did they say? They had to hit a paper plate at 100 yards. Was one of the shooting tests that you had to do in order to be considered. I was like, that should be doable. I'd say, what you should be able to do is put a quarter out there at 100 yards to be able to hit a quarter.
Right.
So I don't know. And it's crazy. Besides you getting there, do you have any tags this year? I mean, you got any hunting going on that you're excited about?
Pretty much just an archery tag. My wife and the rest of the boys and families, nobody really drew anything. So just an archery tag. Tag numbers are pretty low. So it's kind of just a bummer for everybody. That's one thing I'm glad Game and Fish does, though, is they do, when our population's low, they do cut the tags so we don't get our population back. However, I do blame them for letting 50,000 plus deer starve to death in 22-23. The landowners got to feed them anyway. They should have been helping them. I mean, you think all the fawns that were lost there too? We lost probably 80 to 100,000 deer that winter because they refused to help feed. So
yeah, there's only so much we can do to feed out here in this area. I mean, a lot of when I feed cows in the wintertime and the elk come in, they sure like that, but chase off a lot of the smaller items there. One more text message. Dave from Minnesota is a longtime listener, and I said, whatever happened with those deer, right? When he said it was down by Red Wing, he said they shot 60 deer, and they said one came out positive. And I'd like to have you go through and check that information out and actually see if that was actually a true positive.
And I guarantee it wasn't. I guarantee it was just by test, because even Missouri has killed, I don't remember how many thousands of deer. Open records request showed they had 5 clinical, and not one single clinical was autopsy to see the myelin degrading. They were all by test and said the deer were spinning circles. Again, that deer could be spinning circles because of a cobalt deficiency. Like that's how criminal this is becoming. After 60 years, there shouldn't be a hypothesis, Scott. They should be able to prove it. If they can't prove it after 60 years, it's time to let it go.
Because the first one was down in Colorado, right? I think back in the 60s.
That's what they said in 1967, yeah. But even the guy who labeled the misfolded protein as a prion in 1982, Stanley Prusner, has no pictures of a prion.
Yeah.
It's a hypothesis.
Says somebody texts they have an extra goose season. They got double turkey seasons. Why not put out more tags for the deer season instead of going out and shooting a bunch of deer?
Yeah, exactly. And they do that too. They do allocate more tags in North Dakota in the CWD zones.
Yeah. even if
Yep.
the population's decimated, they, because like, was it last year? I think I got a buddy over down in that 3F2 area. They said they had no deer, and then they gave more tags in that area.
Yep.
So that didn't go over very well either, because everybody's like,
And
why the heck are you in this unit? There's no deer.
exactly, and shouldn't. And just think about it. What is testing with surveillance and management doing for the deer or the people? It's doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Let it go.
So if it's about funding, and if it's about a money thing, I wonder why they don't have any funding for CWD or EHD.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the federal level, obviously, they're not pushing for it. They just think it's a Mother Nature disease, and there's nothing they can do. But
Okay, and I agree with that. I mean, I really truly agree. But I would say on the same token, CWD should be Mother Nature, and there's nothing you can do about it.
bingo.
So. All right. Well, again, tell us, we got 60 seconds. Tell me a little bit more information if people want that. Give them your number again, your Facebook page, and all the good stuff. One more time.
Check out the YouTube link, CWD, they missed it by a million miles. Facebook is Chronic Wasting Dis-ease, DIS space EASE. My phone number is 402-360-1038. Reach out at any time.
Another text says, why allocate more tags to kill more deer when CWD isn't killing any deer?
Love it. That's the truth right there.
Exactly. So it's going to be a fight no matter what. And a lot of the fights, honestly, Dusty, is between hunters versus hunters. I mean, there's you try to advocate for a longer thermal season, and you got groups saying, no, you can't do that. Other hunting groups putting that down, saying that's not right. We can't do that. We shouldn't do that either.
Right.
So.
And that's not right, just to cause all the division. That's part of their plan too, is just when we're divided, we're separated. When we unite as hunters, nothing can stop us. So we need to unite. Let's just remember that.
All right, Dusty Backer, thank you for your time. Thanks for tuning in. Another Saturday here. Keep with me, Dusty. We'll continue on the YouTube side of things here in a little bit. Thanks for tuning in today, and thank you, radio stations, for carrying the program for over 20 years now. I appreciate everything all of you do. Have a great weekend. It's cooling down. Eat some meat, drink some milk, wear fur, wear wool, and thank a private landowner, and support your agricultural community. Have a good weekend. All right, stations, thank you. Dusty, we're in the after hours here. If there's anything, anybody else extra, yeah, if CWD's not, but that's the thing, is people still believe it. We've been trained that CWD is real. And I think people have a hard time, especially take my father-in-law, for instance. He reads all the game and fish material, right? And he reads all the magazines that they have coming out all the time, and the articles in this magazine. You pick up Outdoor Life, and they have articles on CWD in there. So that, even all the hunting industry and the hunting shows and everything, there's a lot of them that believe it because we were trained to believe in it. Nobody took the time like you did to go in there and actually research it. So, is there any materials or articles a person can put out that contradicts any of this?
There are now, definitely there are studies and articles out there, but on our page is probably a majority of it on our Facebook page to combat it. We've done the research. We've even called Case Western. They're the ones on the CJD on the human side. Literally, they get millions and millions of dollars from the NIH to study prions, and they couldn't show us one either. They sent us the same research paper we got from the agency, the same one Missouri sent their guys. Like, that's how ridiculous is this guy. They study millions of dollars, and they cannot show us. They've never seen one. I mean, it's like, because it's just a mile and degrading. That's all it is.
So I would, what if you were to buy some article space in the Game and Fish magazine and write an article? You think?
Yeah, exactly.
You think they'd let you do that?
I doubt it. Might be worth a shot, but even like Dakota Country, those guys, I can't remember their name. The Mitzels, they were going to reach out, but no, they're so far into the Game and Fish.
Oh, really? They won't let you do an article either.
Dude.
Oh, wow.
No, Bill Mitzel is really into the Game and Fish. In fact, he testified against us too for the Game and Fish this last session.
Oh, wow.
So it's hard to get. They got to put a lot of the media, but we're sorry to thank you and thank Daryl for help spread the word in North Dakota, because it's making a huge difference, Scott.
Hey, I'll have the other side on too. I'd be more than happy to have the other side on at the same time, and and
I would love that.
and have a discussion about this. But it doesn't seem like that happens very often. So
We would do that in any state. Get on with the agency. Anybody from the agency. Have a nice civil debate about it.
Yep. Well, my friend, I appreciate your time. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go try to do a little hunting today. See what I can find.
Awesome. When you get one, send me a picture, Scott.
Oh, if I get one down here, it's not going to be anything fancy, that's for sure. But,
Okay.
But I'll send you. You know, I absolutely despise when my friends, guy friends, send me pictures of food.
Food?
It just doesn't make sense to me why they would think that I would be like, oh, yeah, good job, you made a plate of food. But if I ever do send it's going to be how Dixie makes antelope backloin and butterfly steaks and how she prepares it. That would be the only thing I'd send you.
There you go. I love that too.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Thanks, Scott.
You bet. See ya.
You too. Good luck. Bye.
Station's already gone. YouTube friends and family, thank you so much for tuning in on another day. Have yourself a good week and enjoy the cooler temperatures. Going to be tomorrow night, Sunday night. It's going to be damn chilly. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. Thank you, Waylon. And we'll catch you guys here. Let's see, Waylon, I'll be up in for the Bucks for Bras October 23rd. So get that Billy beer ready for me.